Hello, everyone. Looks like we still have a few people gathering and still joining us. I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. All right, so we have started recording, and I know there are still some folks that are going to be joining probably over the next few minutes. However, we'll go ahead and get started. I think this is going to be a great session tonight, and I hope everyone is excited. Let's go ahead and kick things off. Again, welcome everyone. I am Danielle Henry. I'm the Director of Programs and Initiatives for Jesus Girls Rock. I'm so excited to have you all to join us tonight. This is going to be one for the books. Tonight we're talking about, we've titled this session, The Servant Leadership's Edge, AI Tools to Elevate Your Impact. So today we'll be diving into how AI can be a powerful tool to help us lead smarter, not harder. I love that. So in this session, we'll explore how AI can simplify your workload, enhance your decision-making, and strengthen your ability to serve and lead with excellence. Whether you're new to AI, I was reading some of the chats, if you're new to AI or you've been using AI for a long time, our goal is to equip you with practical tools and insights that will make a real difference in your leadership journey. So get ready to learn, engage, and discover new ways to maximize your impact with AI. Now, before we get started, in the way that we like to start all of our meetings, we like to start them with a prayer. I see some wonderful faces on the camera. You guys are more than welcome to turn off your cameras tonight and just enjoy, engage in this session, and let's make it a fun evening. All right, so let's start with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you with hearts full of gratitude for this moment, this space, and this opportunity to gather together. Thank you for everyone here this evening and their purpose, their gifts, and their calling. Lord, we invite your presence into this session. May your Holy Spirit guide our hearts, our thoughts, our words, and let this be more than just a learning session. We want it to be more than a virtual session. Let it be a divine appointment where wisdom is gained, connections are made, and lives are truly, truly impacted. Father, we ask that you open our minds to new ideas, help us to grow in both knowledge and faith, and inspire us to lead with boldness, humility, and grace. And bless our speaker this evening and every participant here this evening. And let all that we do bring you glory. In Jesus' almighty name, amen. All right, so let's get into the mission. Now, at Jesus Girls Rock Leadership Foundation, our mission is clear. We're here to equip and empower Christian women to step confidently into their leadership roles, whether they're CEOs, executives, or change makers in their industries. We believe that leadership is not just about titles or positions, but it's more about influence. It's about service. It's about their impact. So our foundation is committed to fostering a global community of a strong faith-driven women who lead with excellence every business sector through networking, mentoring, coaching, and specialized training. We provide the tools and the support necessary for women to truly thrive. We emphasize servant leadership principles, ensuring that our leadership is rooted in faith, integrity, and commitment to uplifting others. Today, as we engage in this session, we encourage you all to embrace the opportunities before you. We want you to grow, to lead, to make a lasting impact. Because when women lead boldly with faith, we transform workplaces, industries, and communities for the better. So before we get started, we do have a few ground rules for you all, because we want this to be an engaging session, and we really want everyone to get the most out of this session. So before we dive in, let's go over a few rules that we've pulled together. As I mentioned, we want it to be a meaningful and engaging session. So number one, engage with a growth mindset. Approach this session with curiosity and openness. AI is constantly evolving, as we know, and there's always something to learn. Whether you're familiar with AI tools or just getting started, be ready to explore new possibilities and embrace innovation. Number two, use the chat for questions and responses. We have two moderators that are in the chat and they're answering your questions eagerly. I'm watching the chat box just, move pretty fast this evening. So definitely leverage this interactive experience and use the chat, ask questions, share your insights, maybe some of the things that you've learned while using AI, and maybe some questions that you have. Feel free to ask questions within our chat. And then, you never know, others may be able to learn from you. We'll be monitoring the chat throughout the evening. Number three, be ready to learn and apply. This isn't about gaining knowledge. It's about putting it into action. So we want you to take what you've learned tonight and take it to the next step. As we discuss those AI tools and leadership strategies, think about how you can actually apply them in your work and in your leadership journey. And then lastly, take notes. I encourage you all to take as many notes as possible. There's going to be some valuable nuggets shared throughout this evening. So jot down any takeaways you have, any insights that you learn, any action steps. And these notes can be helpful as you start to implement some of your learning beyond today's session. So with the ground rules in place, let's get ready for an exciting and insightful discussion. I'm going to introduce our speaker of the evening. Kamisha Washington loves this quote on the screen. We talked about it a bit. In her opinion, it comforts and challenges simultaneously. It's authentic. And authenticity is a gift she shares with her team, peers, leaders, and clients while partnering to create environments where success is inevitable. Kamisha's mantra is fierce faith, family first, and fun frequently. I love those F's. Kamisha is an executive and a leadership coach and a seasoned IT leader. She is a data leader at State Farm and has over 21 years of technical industry experience in Fortune 500 companies, developing and managing high-performing teams. Her experience in companies include such diverse specialties as data strategy, enablement, strategic planning, application development, business engagement, coaching, mentoring, and so much more. Kamisha has been instrumental in assisting professionals from those just starting their career to C-level executives. She's helped them achieve their goals and flourish. She knows that successful leaders listen while creating environments conducive to people being their best. Her mantra is, everyone has a voice and genius within. AI is an interest, passion, in an area that leads itself well to her belief in being a forever learner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kamisha Washington.
Oh my God, Danielle, that was amazing. Thank you. And welcome all of you servant leaders. I am super excited to share tonight AI tools to elevate your impact. It's my prayer that you gain new insights regarding how to leverage AI to enhance and elevate your impact as servant leaders. Now, before we delve into AI, let's start first by unpacking what servant leadership is. Throughout the New Testament in the Bible, Jesus commands his disciples to become servants. And he clearly states that in order to be great, you must first be a servant. Therefore, as Christian leaders, it's essential for us to adopt the servant leadership style. And there are multiple Bible references, but a few of that I want to share with you tonight is Mark chapter 10, verse 45, and also John 13, verses 14 through 15. And you can read those at your leisure. Dr. Ken Blanchard, many of you may be familiar with him, is one of the most influential leadership experts in the world. And he puts it this way: for a follower of Jesus, servant leadership isn't just an option, It's a mandate. I'm gonna say that one more time. For a follower of Jesus, servant leadership isn't just an option, it's a mandate. But let's break this down a little bit further. Servant leadership is an actual method or a framework of leading. So, what is the actual servant leadership style? I'm so glad you asked. In the 1970s, Robert Greenleaf revived this biblical concept of servant leader and spearheaded the servant leadership movement. As a highly regarded management and leadership executive at AT&T, Robert Greenleaf wrote the first book on servant leadership entitled The Servant Leader, which also resulted in the creation of the servant leadership model. Robert Greenleaf also established the Center for Servant Leadership, which continues on today, building on his research and the application of servant leadership within various business sectors. This center, the for Servant Leadership, is currently located at Seton Hall University in New Jersey and is continuing the legacy. So we see on the screen what Robert Greenleaf's definition of the servant leadership model is in this famous quote that we have here, that you can also find in his book, The Servant as Leader, where he says the servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Then the conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead. So, before we kick everything off, let's set a couple of expectations. So, our time together tonight, this is an introductory and inspirational session. It's not highly technical. Don't feel like you need coding experience or anything like that. AI is a tool, not a replacement. Leaders still need emotional intelligence, wisdom, ethical judgment, and other characteristics to lead boldly and impactfully. Upon completing this workshop tonight, you should be able to differentiate between AI and generative AI. Utilize 3 tools to increase the productivity in the workplace and write effective prompts. So I'm curious, just drop in the chat if you will, because this is going to be an interactive session and I want you to engage and learn as much as possible. How do you define AI? You could just drop it in the chat. How would you define AI? Okay, I see as a tool. I love that. Jennifer, my new best friend. Yeah, it's the bestie for me as well, too. Yeah, Dr. Bridget, a data system with a prior knowledge. I love it. So many of you might be familiar with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT. Their definition of artificial intelligence is the ability for computers to imitate cognitive human functions, such as learning and problem solving. Through AI, a computer system uses math and logic to simulate the reasoning that people use to learn when they encounter new information and make decisions. I think we said it before, AI is here. It's not going anywhere. And it is permeated through all of the industries that we have. So for examples, in healthcare, we have AI-assisted diagnostics, patient scheduling. From an educational sector perspective, there are AI tutors and AI tools to help you lesson plan. In corporate America, we have AI data-driven insights and decision-making tools. When you think about our nonprofits and ministries, we have AI-powered tools to help us fundraise and communicate. So AI is already a part of our everyday life. Think of your Google searches, email filters, if you use GPS tools, chatbots. So again, AI is not about replacing human jobs, but enhancing productivity and service. Now, when we think about generative AI, it's slightly different from traditional AI because it creates rather than just analyzing. So examples of that would be ChatGPT that helps you write, draft emails, do reports. You can even use it for devotionals. Beautiful AI or Gamma creates professional slides automatically for you. I don't know about you, but it takes me a ton of time to think about a presentation that I'm going to put together, what the images should look like, what the tone needs to be, what the content is. And these tools can do it in seconds. And then we also have tools like ideogram that helps us quickly generate images that tell or get our point across more succinctly. You know, that saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, wouldn't it be better to be able to use those images in the presentations or other places to get our points across as leaders instead of having to spell it all out? So this is how servant leaders can leverage AI tools. It can help us free up time for other things that are more meaningful for us. Coaching, strategic planning, mentoring. Let AI do the heavy lifting for the things that you need help with so you can take that brain power and put it to use where it can serve you better. So I'm curious, what do you guys think are some common myths about AI? You can drop them right in the chat. We got folks monitoring the chat. What are some of the myths that you've heard about AI that you want to share with us tonight? It's coming for our jobs. Yes, a lot of people have heard that. Wow, okay. It could be used to cheat on exams. Okay, that's one I've heard as well too. Thank you for sharing that in the chat. So some of the common misconceptions is that it will replace humans. It's difficult to use and it's only for tech industries. And that's simply just not the case. Again, AI assists humans and many of the tools are user friendly. We'll see some tonight that generate content or what we ask for very easily and very quickly. And as I mentioned earlier, it's already a part of all of the industries that we have today. So we are going to jump right into these three tools that we have tonight, and this is going to be interactive. So as we get ready to dive into these tools, there are a couple of things that I want us to keep in mind. Again, AI is a tool that you can leverage to elevate your impact. I don't know if you guys have heard the saying garbage in, garbage out. Well, you get better results and responses by refining the prompts. That's how you interact with AI. And what is that prompt? The instruction that you put in to give the AI model what you would like for it to generate in the form of a response. It could be a question, a statement, a request, or even a detailed set of instructions. So prompts can be simple or they can be complex. And how they are worded can influence the quality of the response. So well-structured prompts often lead to better, more useful answers. And we'll talk about this in depth a little later in the presentation. The other thing that we want to talk about is that AI is not always right. There's a term called hallucinating. So if you hear somebody say AI is hallucinating, what they mean is that AI is generating incorrect, misleading, or quite honestly, completely fabricated information that's not based on reality. This can happen because AI models like ChatGPT, what they're doing when they are generating content, they're predicting words or patterns based upon their training data and trying to do that as efficiently as possible. But they do not have true understanding or direct access to facts in real time. So always, 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 please double check your responses. And here's the cool thing about that. You don't have to do the heavy lifting with that either. You can simply ask AI to cite the sources that it used to come up with the results that it's presenting. So leveraging AI. to increase our impact. So the tools that we will review shortly, good thing about this is all of them have free versions that should only require email and password to get started. This way, you get to learn how to use the tool and get more familiar with it for free and decide if you want to engage further and subscribe to one of the paid tiers to get access to additional functionality. So some people might be thinking that, my company won't let me use AI when I'm at work. So how am I supposed to do this? A lot of companies, honestly, are still trying to figure out how AI is best incorporated into their business model and may not allow you to access these tools. However, I kind of think of it as an investment in our future as servant leaders. I have many AI apps loaded on my personal devices, such as my mobile phone, my tablet, and my laptop. It takes a lot of time uh, to do a lot of different things as a leader, especially as we're preparing as we're preparing to lead. So whether that is something that we're presenting, something that we're writing, and if you can have an assistant, it's like having your own little intern like right next to you. So I look at it from that matter. So it's helping me be more impactful and helping me to elevate my impact. So let's jump into our first tool. And this is one of my besties, Chat GPT. So how it helps, it can help you brainstorm ideas for training. If you want to develop mentorship program, it really enhances communications and clarity. You can use it for meeting agendas, to create leadership messages. This ensures that servant leaderships communicate effectively while saving time on administrative tasks. It can also help by providing personalized coaching and guidance. Uh, you can use it to help generate leadership insights. If you have a difficult conversation to have, you can actually use ChatGPT to role play or to give feedback on your approach. This also enables continuous improvement and better team support. It can help to streamline decision making by quickly summarizing reports. It can analyze trends for us. It can offer pros and cons. This helps leaders make more informed decisions faster without getting overwhelmed by the data overload. And also, it can help in supporting team development and learning. You can use ChatGPT to create customized training materials, discussions while you're in team meetings, to help develop people on your team for leadership development opportunities, empowering servant leaders to nurture their teams to grow efficiently. And another thing is it could actually help you automate some routine tasks. So if you are summarizing book articles for your team, again, data analysis, Chat GPT can handle those repetitive necessary tasks, allowing us leaders to focus more on serving and mentoring our teams. So, what you'll see tonight with each of the tools is that we have how it helps, also a sample prompt, the benefits, and then we'll jump right into a demo. So, for this evening, and I'm just going to ask everybody that comes in if you could please mute. We're recording the session. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. So for this evening, we're going to have a sample prompt of I'm a servant leader who wants to communicate clearly and effectively with my team. Could you draft a concise and motivational email to my team that will allow them. First, I want to thank them for their hard work. I want to motivate them. And then I want to remind them of our shared vision. I want to keep the tone encouraging and aligned with servant leadership principles. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we are going to hop right over to Chat GPT in this demo. And right there, we're going to pop that in. and real quickly. And it's repeating back to you, hey, you want this motivational and concise email draft for your team? And look, it actually sign my name. um, but you may say, all right, what if I wanted to summarize the key points of a leadership book? I don't know how many of us are familiar with Brene Brown's Dare to Lead, and do it in a way that applies to servant leadership. So we can quickly pop that in the chat. And here's the other thing too, is that if you look at this and say, oh, I want to make some changes, you can quickly tell it what to change and how to change it. If you're okay with what you got, copy paste that, put that in off to your team, and within seconds, which probably would have taken me hours to be thoughtful about what words, who's the audience, what I'm trying to convey. So let's do another one really quickly. Just in seconds. It comes up with key takeaways. It gives us the highlights and some examples that we want to share that we could easily share with our teams. So just like that, our bestie Chat GPT can do a lot of the heavy lifting for us and help us draft emails, look at data and do some summarization, develop speeches if we need to, and do some meeting summaries for us. So that's just one tool for this evening. So I'm curious. I want everybody to drop their favorite emoji in the chat if you have ever used Chat GPT. Go ahead, just drop it in chat. Drop it in chat really quick. If you've ever used Chat GPT. Let's see. Oh. Awesome. Awesome. And now as we're not only learning from me, but learning from each other, because obviously you guys are using Chat GPT. I'm wondering, like, what have you found most beneficial from using Chat GPT? Share that with us. Drop that in the chat before we go to our next tool. So yeah, saves time. Somebody said it's awesome. Yep. Oh, helped you write your mom's obituary. That's wonderful. Blessings to you. Time management, speed. Yes, absolutely. So our next tool, I don't know how many of you have to create presentations, but that's something that I do a lot of as a leader. Our next tool is Gamma. And it helps us because it saves time by automating design and layout. Gamma is an AI-powered tool that creates visually appealing presentations, documents, web pages with minimal effort. The way that it can help us to increase our productivity as servant leaders is it can create engaging leadership presentations quickly. It can generate professional looking presentations with minimal design effort. So instead of me spending hours, I can go over to Gamma and use that and put in that prompt and usually get it within seconds. It can also help from the perspective of simplifying internal communications. So with Gamma, leaders can create clear and concise reports, newsletters, team updates, if that's something that you do with your team, in an easily digestible format. It also ensures that key messages are communicated effectively without a lot of excessive back and forth. You want that message to be clear and concise as soon as you send it out. Another benefit that Gamma has for us is that it can enhance training and developmental materials. You can quickly generate interactive training materials. So think leadership guides, onboarding resources that align with your team's needs. So this allows for consistent, high quality learning experiences without spending excessive time on content creation. Some people get paid just to do that, right? Another benefit is that it can streamline vision casting and goal setting. So when we think about at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, as we're setting our vision for our teams, we can use Gamma to help us create these compelling visual roadmaps, strategic plans, and goal setting documents that help keep our teams aligned and motivated. Also, Gamma can help with us reducing time spent on documentation. So whether you're summarizing meetings, developing presentations, documenting best practices, creating servant leadership frameworks, for example, Gamma can help us automate this. So another benefit is that visual storytelling really helps enhance our communication.
Hey, Kamisha, can you share that Gamma slide?
Oh, it's not coming up. Sorry.
Nope, no worries. There it is.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So actually, the sample prompt on the screen is like, could you just design a presentation on servant leadership principles using a modern style? So we could use that, or we could also use, what if you had a new slide deck that you wanted to create to train new volunteers or new employees on servant leadership? How quickly could we do that? So we are going to take that example. It's demo time. Jump right into the tool, create new using AI. We want to generate. So you see, you got some other options as well. So say, for instance, you already had the content and we're struggling with, okay, so what are going to be, some good images to use, color palette. You could just paste in the text and let it do the rest. So we're going to generate. So I'm going to pop that prompt in there. And we're going to say, to train new employees on servant leadership principles. Okay. And first it's going to generate that outline. And so you'll see that you can change at the top how many, it says cards, but that's really the slides. And so you can check your outline, make sure that that's exactly what you want. So again, create a slide deck to train new employees on servant leadership principles. And so it's telling you, hey, here's how I'm going to do this outline. Is this what you want? And you can make any changes that you need as well. And then you can customize the text, the themes. And so we're just going to keep it on what it has, and we're going to generate. So I can show you just how quickly it does the magic for us. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I have never created something that quick. And then we can go over here and look at the different parts of this. We can change, if we wanted to, change images very quickly. So you can edit images, you can remove the background, all the things, change the focus point, um, change the image on each of your tiles here. You can make quick and easy changes. So again, let it do the heavy lifting for you. And then all you have to do is come in and put your final touches. If you want to change pictures, you want to change backgrounds, change it to a different type of theme, that is easy. You could do that in seconds to apply to all of the slides that you've created. Let's see, another example for us could be, um, what about if you wanted to send out a leadership update to your team, um, summarizing recent achievements, upcoming goals, and inspirational servant leadership quote to keep them motivated. You want to keep the design clean and modern, engaging, and easy to skim. Let's see what happens when we give it that prompt. So again, when you're here, if you want to change the number of cards or change what you're doing, you can easily select which one you want assistance with. We'll generate that outline really quickly. Let's see, let's change this. It's a little dark. I probably wouldn't do that, but just for demonstration you can see how quickly this is demonstrating the information. Oops, sorry about that. Generate it again. And here's the thing, when you use generative AI, it is generating new content. So the one that I did before may be slightly different from this one. And so we can click over on the tiles, we can change backgrounds, we can change any information that we wanted to. And I didn't even tell it what the key achievements was. It just made it up. So you can quickly change all of the information instantaneously. So I am curious again. Drop it in the chat using your favorite emoji. Have you guys ever used Gamma? I love it, Dr. Sheila. You use Gamma and then copy paste into your work template. That takes the time out, decreases the time dramatically. Never used it. Okay. So now that you've seen it, I'm curious, what do you think some additional benefits you can get out of using Gamma? I got somebody say no, they haven't used it, but they will. I love it. That's the intent for tonight. Absolutely. Awesome. You guys can keep sharing that in the chat. I want to move on to our next and final tool for the evening. Yeah, Tracy, graphics, absolutely. And you kind of perfect segue into the next one. Ideogram.ai. So this tool helps to create inspiring graphics, like we talked about a little bit earlier, that a picture is worth 1,000 words. But you can use this to create inspiring graphics for presentations, training. If you're trying to create a training program for servant leadership, you can describe the concept of leading by example, but showing an image of a leader walking alongside their team instead of ahead of their team instantly communicates that same message. The visual reinforces the idea of shared responsibility, support, humility in a way that words alone might not fully capture. And then these visuals can be added to presentations and other documentation. And Ideogram AI is an AI powered tool that generates high quality images and text-based visuals, which can be incredibly useful for servant leadership. So if you wanted to create some inspiring visuals for team motivation, we talked about, even as we were thinking about setting our goal and our vision for the year for our team, really having some images that depict the story that we're trying to tell without having to say a word is powerful. Again, enhancing presentations and training material instead of spending hours searching for the right image. Leaders can generate custom graphics that align with their servant leadership messages, making training sessions more engaging and more memorable. This can also help to strengthen our team brand, or in some cases, company brand, depending on what level of servant leader that you are. So you can quickly create that branded content for newsletters, social media, and/or internal communications. Simplifying complex concepts with infographics. Oftentimes we have to teach deep mission-driven concepts. Well, if we use ideograms, that can help us generate infographics that break down leadership models, team structures, or strategic roadmap into easy to understand visuals. So sample prompts that we might use, let's just say we were trying to do vision and goal setting. Generate an AI image of a leader standing on a mountain peak, looking at a bright horizon, symbolizing vision and growth for the future. What if there's conflict resolution or teamwork that you want to stress as objectives to have within the team. You can create an illustration of two colleagues shaking hands while puzzle pieces are connected around them, representing problem solving and collaboration. What about if you wanted to empower somebody or empower the team? You could design a visual of a leader handing a torch to a team member, which symbolizes mentorship and empowerment. So, again, one of the main benefits is that it enhances that storytelling with the use of compelling visuals to improve our leadership effectiveness. So, you know what time it is again? Demo time. Let me see. I'll grab this one as a sample prompt for us. And so right here, we're going to pop in. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. All right. See, so I guess I used up all of the free stuff trying to prepare for tonight. So as you can see, they have different plans that I'll just go ahead and do that really quickly. So I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second to make sure I can show you guys all the stuff that we're trying to do here. And yeah, so we're going to go right into that. So, so as we're pulling this up to show you guys a demo, what do you think would be the best use of your time as a servant leadership as it relates to being able to create those compelling visuals? Drop it in the chat. Have you guys ever heard of ideogram.com? No. Awesome. Okay. And just with anything, it's giving me a little bit of a issue here, but that's okay. We'll work right through it really quickly, and then we should be able to share. While that is working in the background, and we'll come back to that one. I think we talked a little bit earlier about the effectiveness of our prompts and being able to share that with others. Just want to check and make sure. Is it sharing again for you guys or no? All right, I see it. Yep, I got you. I see it. Thank you. Okay. So effective prompts. Let me make sure you'll see that.
There it is.
There we go. All right. So when you think about the information that you put in, again, like we talked about garbage in versus we'll give you garbage out. So being able to put in effective prompts is key. And this also helps to enhance productivity by generating precise, high quality responses tailored to specific needs. So well-crafted prompts, they improve clarity, streamline workflow, and save time by reducing the back and forth iterations of saying something as vague as create a report. Well, what type of report? You have no context. And so it also helps to, when using effective prompts, to unlock AI's full potential, enabling deeper insights, creative content, and data-driven decision making. So for servant leaders, businesses, and creatives, mastering prompt engineering leads to more efficient problem solving, innovation, and impactful communication. So again, some of those key tips are be clear and specific. The more details you provide, the better your response. Include context. Tell AI who you are and what you need. Some people might have heard of it as a persona. I'm a servant leader that wants to create compelling messages for my team to help them understand servant leadership principles, as an example. Set a tone or the format and add emotion. I want it to be encouraging. I want it to be heartfelt. Create me a formal email, a casual email, or structured outline. So give it those directions and give examples AI improves when you specify style or content preferences. And also, as we said before with the hallucination, revise and refine. If the first response isn't perfect, keep tweaking the prompt and try again. You're going to figure out what works best for you in your scenario by trying. Remember, iteration is key. If the first response isn't great, keep doing it. AI is a tool, and the quality of its output depends on the quality of its input. A couple common mistakes to be aware of is too vague. So write about leadership. Well, that's too broad and it lacks direction. A better prompt would be summarize three key qualities of a servant leader and how they apply in healthcare. What about help me with the speech? Well, it lacks length, topic, and audience. How about drafting a 5-minute speech on leading with humility in a corporate setting? The one I used before, create a report. What industry, what purpose? Using more context helps us to get the best out of AI with the responses that we want. So something that would be more beneficial would be generate a 1-page report on the impact of mentorship in the nonprofit leadership or in the nonprofit sector. So now we have time for a short exercise. And this is to help you get better with your prompt engineering or creating a prompt to be able to get the best information out of AI. So I'm going to read the scenario below, and then I'm going to give you guys time to think about it and write a prompt in the chat that you think will help solve this problem effectively. So here's the scenario. You're managing a cross-functional team on a company-wide initiative. Some of the team members are feeling discouraged due to a recent project setback. You want to use AI to craft an uplifting email that acknowledges their hard work, encourages them, and reinforces the mission of the organization. What might you put? Go ahead and drop that in the chat. Give you guys to think about that. So looking at that scenario, if that was your scenario and you wanted to use an AI tool, what do you think a prompt would look like that would make sure that you got the best response out of AI based upon what you put in? Again, remember to be clear, specific, include context, set a tone or format. Give an example if you like. So what are you guys thinking? Oh, here's one. Thanks, LaDonna. Create an email to uplift and encourage team members to stay focused on the work and the mission of the organization. Thank the team for dedication and hard work on X, Y, and Z, right? And you can give more specifics on what that X, Y, and Z is. Perfect. Yeah, I like that. Help give me team tips on overcoming setbacks. I think that's awesome. All right, this is a good one. Thank you, Sherry Lynn. Craft an email to uplift my team, acknowledge their hard work on recent project, make it encouraging, and highlight company values. Awesome. Here's the thing. There is no perfect way to do this, right? Using those different tips that we talked about earlier will help us easily be able to engage with AI. I was going to say my bestie ChatGPT because that's one of the ones that I use almost all the time. But being able to engage with AI and getting the information that we want out of it, which will save time for us. So I'm just going to pop on the screen a couple of examples of what we could have said given that scenario. And I bet you guys can guess, drop it in the chat, which AI tool I probably used to create this. What do you think? what tool might I have used? Because there are thousands of tools. I think there was a study done last year that in a month's time, over 1,000 AI tools were being created and pushed out to the public. Ah, Dr. Bridget. Yeah, y'all got me. Chat GPT. You absolutely got me on that one. That's a favorite of mine. I have it on my personal devices, as I said before, and I use it frequently. I ask it all types of questions. I ask it things like, when your training model, what year does that go up to? So I know I wouldn't ask it like, what was the weather yesterday? Because again, it doesn't have access to that real-time data. Awesome. Now, here's another opportunity for you guys to join in and learn from each other. What other AI tools are you using as a leader? What other tools have you found that have increased your impact as a leader? Any other productivity tools that you're using that we didn't discuss tonight? Again, there's thousands of AI tools out there. A lot of them do similar things. But just wanted to hear from everybody else so we can learn from each other. If there are other tools that you guys are using that you find very impactful and help elevate your impact as a leader, that you don't mind sharing with everybody on the chat tonight. Oh, yeah. Claude. Anybody heard of Claude or Grammarly or gosh, there's tons of tools out there. Beautiful AI is another tool that helps. Slides to go. Yes, I see somebody put Grammarly in the chat. Uh, what else? Okay. Odie, nice. Okay. Using an AI helper in Canva to help generate some graphics and images. Absolutely. What else? Oh, I didn't know that. That SurveyMonkey has tools in the system as well to use to leverage AI. So when you think about different surveys and things that we're trying to create. Well, I want to thank you for the time to discuss those three tools with you. I know we had a little bit of a technical issue on the last one. Seems to be working on my phone, just not on the laptop. So again, Ideogram, they have a free version if you guys want to go out there and use it to create those images. And once it creates those images for you, all you have to do is copy paste that into presentations, into any other documentation that you might have been using. And again, images, picture can be worth 1,000 words. And so that can help us as we elevate our impact as servant leaders. And with that, I want to thank you again for spending a little time with me. And I want to open it up for any questions you guys may have. Any questions? Well, again, before I pass it over to the illustrious Danielle, it's my hope that through our time together, you now know the difference between AI and generative AI. Understand some tools out there that can help you increase your productivity in the workplace, and then that you have some more information to help you write more effective prompts. Hey, I need you to remember AI is a tool for servant leaders. It helps us serve and lead more effectively. And remember to explore AI tools with curiosity, wisdom, and integrity. It is not here to replace, it is here to enhance. And with that, I'll pass it over to Danielle.
Thank you so much, Kamisha. All I can say is, wow, such an insightful presentation. I felt like every time we talk about I feel like I'm learning something new. And I truly hope that everyone on this call was able to walk away with something new that they've learned. And hopefully, you'll be able to apply some of those learnings in your own leadership journey. I know I will. I think before we started talking about the different tools Kamisha wanted to introduce to the team, I said, wow, what is this? Obviously, ChatGPT. We all know who ChatGPT is. I have a nickname for it. It's called Chatty, and I use Chatty practically every day. That's my bestie as well. I saw someone else say that ChatGPT was their bestie in the comments. So I can relate. I mean, it's definitely such a helpful tool. You will still need to take it and kind of sometimes I make it my own, but definitely an excellent, excellent tool to use. So, Kamisha, I truly appreciate you for sharing your learnings with this entire group. And if many of you are like me, you are probably taking notes throughout this session. When I'm in these virtual learning sessions, I'm constantly taking as many notes as possible because, again, I want to apply my learnings throughout my life, whether it's work, personal. So with that being said, we do have a little bit of a gift for you all for just attending this session this evening. We developed a beautiful one-pager that will highlight some of the key details that Kamisha discussed throughout this session. I think it'll be a really, really great reference for you all to use and hopefully helpful in applying it, to your day-to-day work. Obviously, we'll continue to have more sessions, virtual sessions, may not necessarily be on AI, and maybe there will be an AI part two eventually. But certainly, stay tuned to your inbox following this virtual session because we will have that infographic takeaway for you. And again, Kamisha, thank you for such an engaging session. Thank you everyone on the call, having your hearts open and your minds open as well. All right, so let's move on. We just have a couple more things that we want to talk about, and then we'll close this out with a prayer. And again, want everyone to have a wonderful evening. But before we do that, as we continue our mission to equip and empower Christian women in leadership, we invite you to partner with us in making a lasting impact. Your support helps us to provide free workshops, valuable training, mentorship, and resources to women who are stepping into their God-given calling as a leader. And if you feel led, again, it's not required, but if you feel led to it, you can certainly do so by donating or by giving a love offering on multiple platforms. You see it on the screen. We have Givelify, PayPal, Zelle, and Cash App. And just want to make sure that I mention that all love offerings are tax deductible. Every contribution, no matter the size, help us expand our reach and continue this very important work. And as usual, your generosity enables us to offer more opportunities and create meaningful programs and uplift more and more women on their leadership journey. So thank you for your support and your prayers and your commitment to our mission. You being present this evening lets us know that you definitely support our mission. And we are happy to have you here this evening. And together, we are going to build a strong community of faith-driven women leaders and men. I know we had a gentleman on the call, and men as well. So we welcome the gentlemen to come and participate as well. So one call out, if you're interested in joining our mission and being a part of the organization, please visit us, Jesus Girls Rock website, and check out some of the opportunities. Could potentially become a board member as well. And also be on the lookout for future workshops. As I mentioned, might not necessarily be AI for the next one, but we will have some other interesting workshops throughout this year and even going into next year. So certainly be on the lookout for that. With that being said, and I love the chat, so thank you everyone for engaging and taking part in this session. I'm going to close this out with a prayer. And I know folks are going to start dropping, so I do want to make sure that I extend our gratitude and our thanks from the Jesus Girls Rock Foundation to you all. Thank you for being a part of this session this evening. Thank you for being a part of our mission. All right, so let's close this out in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for this time together, for the wisdom shared, and for the hearts that gathered here today. Thank you for your blessings, your love, your grace, your mercy, and your peace that surpasses all understanding. Lord, as we close this session, we ask that you continue to guide us, strengthen us, align our hearts with yours. Help us to carry forward what we have learned and to walk in your purpose and confidence and grace. Lord, let our words and actions reflect your love, and may we be a light in what we do. There is no one like you, Lord. You never fail us, you never give up on us. And for that, we give you all the glory and the thanks and the praise. We trust in you, we honor you, and we thank you. In Jesus' almighty name, amen. Thank you. Have a good evening.